Good morning and welcome back to another day of Magic the Gathering in the arena. Today we're gonna use a different deck, partly because of the quest we have for today, casting blue or red spells, and also because I felt I needed to change it up a bit. So we are gonna play with Izzet Giants. This is a deck I mostly constructed by myself. It can still be improved in some ways, but I'm quite happy at where it is right now. So what it is, we have just giant creatures, and then we've got a little bit of control. I think there's 22 creatures in this deck, so it is quite heavy on the creatures. I'm actually running one too few lands, I just noticed. Well, we got discount anyway. So we're using snow lands because that makes frostbite a lot better. So we have frostbite as removal. We've got essence scatter as a counter. We've got negate as a counter. Then we have invasion of the giants. This card helps us get more cards in our hand and helps us cast our giants for cheap. So that's better. We got the famous Bone Crusher giant. Can't leave home without him. We got Agar. He lets us draw a card if any giant deals excess damage to a target. We got the Basalt Ravager, who deals damage for the amount of giants that I have on the field. At the moment that he enters the field, he himself counts for that damage as well. The best card in the deck, Calamity Bearer. He doubles all the damage that giants do. So this 4-2 would be an 8-2. Tectonic Giant deals 3 damage to each opponent when he attacks, or I can cast some spells I put some cards I put into exile. That becomes 6 damage with the Calamity Bearer. Bergstrider to tap creatures. Squash because it's very cheap with giants and it's great removal. Quakebringer because it's just a really good giant card. Opponents can't gain life and we deal 2 damage each turn, whether he's on the field or in the graveyard. Doomscar Titan to give haste and +1 counters to all our giants. And if we ever get to cast this Cyclone Summoner, we remove all the giants from the field, all the non-giants from the field. So if the opponent has a big board, this one clears it. Then we got our lands. Looking at this list right now, I think I actually will bring in another Calamity Bearer and drop 1 Tectonic, because Calamity Bearer is just a lot better for the same casting. So we'll do that and we'll start playing with it. I hope everybody's doing well on this Saturday morning. If you're watching this live on Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm hoping you're doing well whenever you're watching this. Okay, so our opening hand only has 2 mana, but we got a removal and a removal. We got some good giant cards here. I think we'll keep this. We're pretty likely to draw more mana anyway. We'll open up with the red, so we can cast a Frostbite in case they drop something serious in turn 1. He's got red as well. There's the mana we need, so that's great. We drop a blue. So what we can do now is either foretell this, or we hold it up for negate. I don't think there's anything we need to negate in turn 2, so we'll foretell. Not a frostbite. This would now deal 3 damage. But I think we play Agar. We let them attack for 3. So this is where we do frost. No, actually we'll cast the Basalt Ravager and we'll do 2 damage to the Phoenix of the Ash. I could have done 2 damage to the Rimrock Knight and draw a card, but then I wouldn't have gone in for 3, so I think this is the better option. Torbran, so we need squash for that. We'll get rid of him. Draw another card. And maybe attack with this. If he blocks, fine. He probably won't block. Okay. Does opponent have an Embercleave? He does. Is this lethal? No, I don't think it is. No. Okay. What do we do here? So that will be 5, 10. Yeah, that's lethal. GG. And we are in Diamond Tier. I enjoy it a lot when you outrace mono red. It just feels good. I mean, we're quite heavy on the red. There's not that many blue cards in the deck, but the blue cards do make quite a difference. We don't have any cheap giants we can cast, but this one will make this a 3 casts, and we've got the mana for that, so I think we'll keep this hand. It's actually quite nice. Plus this will draw us more cards as well. We can foretell this too, to make it a 2 cast even. Opponent plays Gruul. And we have a Lovestruck Beast. So normally I would play the Invasion of the Giants here, but we don't want the Lovestruck Beast to be able to attack, so we'll just get rid of the little 1/1. Yeah, we'll take both of those. We'll draw 2 cards next turn because of this saga, unless our opponent removes it. But those are both cards that are useful. Oh, Bushfire Elemental getting big this turn. So we won't foretell this, because I probably want to cast a Bone Crusher Giant this turn. We'll reveal the Bone Crusher Giants, do 2 damage to them, and then I'll Bone Crusher Stomp. That's so, and then next turn we'll cast the Quakebringer. Well, opponent can drop a Lovestruck Beast, but if they do, we're happy to block that with Quakebringer. Okay, a tapped land. That's fine because we can cast this turn. So we just hard cast it. There we go. And I'll probably block his Bone Crusher Giant with the Quakebringer, because I got more giants which I can drop that, and then I'll still do the 2 damage each turn. Because his ability triggers if we have a giant in the graveyard as well. Yeah. So he leaves mana open. Does he have any combat tricks here? In Gruul he probably does have the combat tricks, but we can't risk it. Opponent probably thinks that's a good trade. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad trade, really. Not a Bone Crusher. I got a Bone Crusher of my own. So we need 1 more mana to cast our Bergstriders. Now we pay with snow, so this doesn't untap during their next turn. Which also means it will be tapped during our turn. So unless they cast a creature right now, we can go in for 4. They cast a Lovestruck Beast, which I will tap with the other Bergstrider. Ooh, I can also just remove both. Now we'll tap the Lovestruck Beast and we'll destroy that. In combat. Oh, it does not want to block. So opponent thinking maybe we're holding up a Frostbite here. I probably would have needed to go into control mode for him to assume that. Opponent does not fancy an attack. That's very interesting. Especially because we draw a Calamity Bearer. And we'll squash this. And that is game. Yeah, that's fine, mates. We do 8 damage because of Calamity Bearer. Such a strong card. Such a strong card. I would have liked 3 mana, but being on the draw will keep this hand. Opponent needs to play a Fabled Passage in turn 1. Opponent's also running a big deck. Island. We'll play the Volatile Fjord. Tap land turn 1 is always a good option. This does give them a lot of information though. This tells them where snow is it. And we're playing against rogues. Lovely. So we'll put up the mana for an Essence Scatter. I won't foretell any of these. Keep the Essence Scatter up. And if it's a crab or a Thought Thief they bring in, or an Enforcer, well, they do nothing. In that case, we will stomp. Oh, this was my turn still. Oops. Should have paid better attention. Yeah, because now the mana for our Essence Scatter is useless. Oh, I should have paid better attention. Bad play. So they play another Fabled Passage. And they foretell this is probably a sword coming. That's most definitely a sword coming. I mean, I don't have any mana open now, so we can make plays this turn. I think Agar is a good card to drop down, but it can't block it. What's this Greenland for? Very interesting. Not a Greenland, so we're not playing against rogues. Is this an ultimatum deck? Starting to look like it. Without Yorion. I mean, it's possible. So they only have 1 blue mana open, there's not really anything they can cast here. Drop in another Agar. Next turn the Ravager to get them full 5 damage unless I get a creature. Behold the Multiverse. Yeah, I think we are playing against Ultimatum. But there's no Yorion. Question is, can we do enough damage before they reach the ultimatum? I don't think we'll be able to. Elspeth's Nightmare. Okay, so I think this turn we want to get cards out of our hand by foretelling them, just because of the Elspeth. So it gets rid of the Essence Scatter. So they don't know what these 2 cards are now. A hard-cast Shark Typhoon. That's a bit annoying. So I got 5 mana. What do we do? What do we do? I think it's time for the Quakebringer. Start applying the pressure. I'll probably Doomscar Titan next turn for lethal, unless they drop a creature. I mean, they probably cast the ultimatum this turn, don't they? Opponent is looking at our cards heavily, reading the text. Opponent wants to get rid of the Aegar, it seems. Shadow's Verdict. And the Heartless Acts. Okay, if I cast, then I've only got 3 left. So I think we'll cast the Tectonic Giant here. That way, if he targets the Tectonic Giant with a spell, I still have protection, or I still deal damage. That Shark Typhoon is really annoying. But at least we'll get 2 damage in on the upkeep. Not the mana I wanted, but it's the mana we get. So we'll cast a Ravager and kill this Shark Typhoon. I'm not gonna sacrifice this yet. I wanna see if he attacks next turn. I mean, that does not trigger the Typhoon, does it? So how big of a shark can you make? A very big shark. Oh, that doesn't trigger the Typhoon. Okay. So that's an issue. But... so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I can cast both, which is great. And that is lethal. Good game. Because you can only block one of my giants, so I just go in for lethal. It doesn't matter which one he blocks. Yeah, you're gonna create a green beast, but that beast can't. There we go. And another win. That was also our daily quest completed, which means that I now have very 6 skins. So I am gonna change them. I mean, look at this. How sweet is that? Make the fold. Yeah, all previous decks will now have that sleeve. So this deck should now have, yeah. And let's go in for another game. So we're 3-0 now. Best streak I've had on stream so far. I mean, yes, if you were here yesterday, that didn't go well. We are keeping his hand because we've got 3 mana, we've got card draw, we've got possible removal once the giant's on the field. Opponent plays a forest. It's not a snow forest. Oh, it's just regular Gruul Stompy. We'll make him think that we're control. Keep up pretenses. Kazandu Mammoth. So that's a lot of landfall, and that's possibly a lot of damage they're gonna come in for. So yeah, especially with the Fabled Passage. So next turn we'll cast a Squash and Invasion of the Giants. I have to take this. Oh, that's game. Well, opponent had the perfect curve there. Well, we could have prevented it, but couldn't have known. Oh well. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. So if I was a professional, I'd probably edit this out when I upload it to YouTube, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing, so that will just go onto the YouTube feed as well. Sun inside. The mana's okay, especially for this hand. Fabled Passage turn 1. Somehow I always like, do you not have other cards to other lands to play? So we know a swamp. What we don't want is an island next to it now, because we just don't like rogues. Rakdos. Oh, so this is the graveyard Berserker control deck, which I'm not a huge fan of. Do we Frostbite the Mire Triton? No, they're probably gonna cast something scarier. We don't need the Cyclone Summoner anytime soon. Volatile Fjord is fine. I will get another card, mystery card. Look at these sleeves. Discard 2 cards. I guess the Negate and the Bergstrider. It's not very nice. You're supposed to control your graveyard, not mine. Yes, I will reveal Agar. Question is, will I also cast him this turn or will I wait till next? I think I'll wait till next, and we will Frostbite this critter here. So next giant we cast costs 2 less. So I'll probably just cast Calamity Bearer then, because it would just cost 2 red. We keep 2 blue open. Immerstomb Predator. Yeah, we will cast him Calamity Bearer. I will foretell the Doomscar. Makes him a 5 mana instead of a 6. It's one of the few cards that don't get a 2 card discount when you foretell a 2 mana discount. But he's great. Doomscar Titan is really good, as we saw 2 games ago. And the artwork's quite nice on it as well. Smashing some elves. Giant Axe. It's a good card. Okay, your opponent attacks. So we need a squash to get rid of this. Although we can outpace him. What did he exile? My Bergstrider. That's not very nice. And a Lurrus. Here comes the Mire Triton. Okay. So we will play... Yes, we will play the Agar. And now I'm thinking, will I attack with the Calamity Bearer? We will draw another card if we do. We'll probably defend. I think we will. Just in case it's a Frostbite or a Squash. So we can get rid of the Lurrus. Invasion of the Giants. Happy with that as well. Here we go. Do we need another mana? Not at this point. Would like it to be a giant card so we can do damage. So opponent's gonna go in for 8 here. Oh. Then we would have liked to have the mana, but opponent does not attack with the Lurrus. Another invasion of giants. That's the wrong play here because we're gonna lose this game. Even if I didn't do that play. Because they attack for 6. So we need to attack here. In the hope we draw... Oh, we will draw the mountain. I am clearly not awake yet. Yeah. I am clearly not awake yet. That was really bad play on my side. Well, we got the mana. This is not great in your opening hand, but we'll keep it. We don't have any creatures we can cast, but we can control the board a bit with this. Is the how many of game on the draw as well? Ooh. Do I want to play a tapped land here? I think I do. I want to play a tapped land. So this is rogues. This is something we don't like. Especially when we lose those guys. And another school. So we're losing all the great cards here. So now I want to play untapped land. Do we get rid of the wind robber, or do we hold it up? I think we hold it up for an essence scatter. Okay, so they don't cast anything, so then no, because we'll get rid of the crab this turn. Get rid of the crab. Mystical dispute. Well. We don't like rogues with this deck, not at all. Of course. Cling to dust. Why are they not dropping down the Thought Thief? It's a very interesting play by the opponent. And they got a counter to this as well. If they do, I'm gonna scoop. I mean, there's no point. Okay, so that's their Thought Thief. We're down to 34 cards. Could still. I mean, there's nothing they can do about this one, really. We'll just squash, I guess, the Thought Thief? Or one of those crabs. Probably one of those crabs. So I want to get the Cyclone Summoner in, but I need a lot more mana for it, or an Invasion of Giants. But I think all of our invasions are down here. 2 of them are. Three of them are. We got a Quake Bringer now. So we'll play the tap land. We'll squash. We'll squash this. We'll attack. We'll do 3 damage. We're not gonna help them mill. They probably won't block because they want their rune crabs. That's how rogue players are. They love their rune crabs. Two Quakebringers in the graveyard. That's gonna be 4 damage, mate. I mean, we'll just play another land. We can't cast the Cyclone Summoner yet. We want to cast it next turn to clear the board, but I don't think so. He needs to block now, otherwise there's no next turn for him. And unless he can exile my graveyard, he's dead anyway. We'll play the Essence Scatter. Yeah, that's GG. That does not matter at all. So he needs something to exile my graveyard right now. I don't think he has it. Opponent's looking at our graveyard, reading the wording of Quakebringer. Okay, so he's taking one Quakebringer out, but I still have a second one in there. He gains some life, that's fine. Opponent does not attack. Opponent takes 2 damage. Streamer casts Cyclone Summoner, and that's game. Let's go into the store and buy a pack of cards. This was a good deal yesterday. Black Mamba, thank you for the follow. So yeah, we're gonna buy a pack of Zendikar. There's some nice cards in there. I've never seen this being played actually. I've seen the green one being played, but never this one. Okay. This seems like quite an okay hand to keep. Just so many of the time we're on the draw, by the way. Would be nice if we get to play the first time. So this is a great card to have as a 1-drop. A 1/2 with lifelink for 1 mana. It's dead, but and another Hateful Eidolon. So we do not have another removal for that, but we do have the mana now to negate whatever, well, to Essence Scatter whatever next critter they bring into the field. Opponent does not want to cast something. We will negate that, thank you. And your Order of Midnight goes straight into the graveyard. So, do we foretell the Doomscar or do we keep the mana up for an Essence Scatter? I think we keep the mana up. because they will want to start putting pressure on me, especially since I have no creatures yet. Opponent does not want to put the pressure on me. So now we do foretell. Opponent has a counterspell of their own, but a black counterspell. I do not know what it is. Probably some kind of removal. Opponent does not wish to use the removal. Another hateful eidolon. Dead weight. And another dead weight. Well, that's a lot of cards going for you, mate. And you're drawing like a madman. We'll cast the Calamity Bearer here. Do we squash an Eidolon or do we Essence Scatter, whatever they cast next turn? This is an instant, so we can actually decide it next turn. Extinction event. Odd or even. He is odd, I am even. So we will cast a squash, get rid of one of those. Just hard cast this and go in for 5. Then we'll cast the other Doomscar Titan next turn. So I haven't seen mono black in a while. This is a very interesting version of it. Ooh. No, I want to cast this. Opponent blocks. Opponent does not block. So next turn we'll drop the Ravager and we'll kill the Lurrus. Do they have another dead weight? No. Do we kill the Lurrus? Yeah, we do kill the Lurrus. Oh, this is a great card as well. Opponent has lethal. So we do kill the Lurrus. We keep this up. We won't attack. We need this as a defender. So will we be able to bring it back? I mean, once this is on the field, he can't live gain anymore, so that would be great. Oh, yeah, of course Essence Scatter doesn't work against that, does it? Yeah, we got played there. That was a very well placed Academy's Awakening. So that's 3, so that's 5. I think we'll just get rid of this one. But opponent has lethal next turn anyway, so it doesn't matter, and I should have... Good game, because they just attack with everything, can only block 2, so... Yeah. We played a bit too slow in that game. Players with mythic orange names are MTG Arena team members. I've never seen one of those. Sir Beast Mode. Well, I expect you to play Gruul now with that name. So, we're finally on the play with an okay hand. We'll keep it. If he plays a critter, we Essence Scatter. If he doesn't, we Stomp. Yeah, we don't want Hello Blade. Because once that's on the field, it becomes really annoying to remove, so... So this is mono white, so he's probably going to be... Yeah, you can drop that. And then I'll Stomp it. I'll cast Tectonic Giant. Lurus, yeah. You can't get any of those cards back though. Do we squash here? You'll sack the Savior. I think that's worth it. Yeah, he'll sacrifice the Savior. We'll foretell this. He'll just block with the Lurus to gain 3 life, because it's indestructible anyway. We cast Quakebringer next turn, so he can't gain any more life. Not a Savior. Oh, it's the same Savior again with Lurus brought back. Yeah. And that's the maximum of life you're gonna get, mate, because Quakebringer is here to party. Should have hardcast that one. I am not on my A game today. So Quakebringer, great thing is he's not legendary. Ooh, that's a really nice and annoying card. Okay, Agar is actually a nice card here. I was planning on playing this, tapping. Yeah, I think that's actually the wiser strategy. Tapping the Selfless Savior, going in for 11. Oh. So I needed one more mana for that. Oh. That was quite a nice draw from the opponent. What do we get rid of? The L seed. We cast this. Ideally we would have had a Calamity Bear here, but Bone's gonna sacrifice the Savior probably. Bone's not gonna sacrifice the Savior. So we draw 3 cards here, but that's not enough. Yeah, that was a good game. Sadly, we didn't have an answer for your Skyclaved, Redained, Lurus. I don't think we made a bad play in that game. But I also don't see how we could have won that. Squash before the Redain came down. That would have been the only answer. We didn't draw any of our 4 squashes, so yeah. We'll keep this hand because it's actually quite nice. Nice ramp into the Tectonic Giant or the Quakebringer. Fervent Champion. So next turn we'll play this mountain, cast Agar, and turn 4 we'll cast the Quakebringer, play Volatile Fjord. Opponent's looking, what does that card do? Well, mate, it means you need to ramp up quickly, otherwise I'm gonna have big critters on the field. Okay, Robber of the Rich. You won't steal a card. He will next turn. We play this. Now we play this. So he'll steal a card next turn with Robber of the Rich. And I can block either of those. Frostbite. He gets a Squash, which he does not have the mana to cast it. Yet. Okay, so we'll cast the Quakebringer. Get a Volatile Fjord out. Because there's nothing else we could do this turn anyway, so it's good to play the tapped land. Does opponent have an Embercleave? Possibly. Opponent has a Frostbite. And an Annex. So here we'll cast Tectonic Giants. I miscounted my mana there. Should have played the Volatile Fjord because then well. Opponent can cast a Squash now. He does, takes 3 damage, and we take a lot. So if you compare this to the other mono red player, this is how mono red should be played. I'll get rid of this one. And we'll get rid of this one. GG. I hate that dwarf. I really do. So we'll probably call this the last game. We're on the draw. Got some removal. Can ramp into the Calamity Bear. Best card in the deck. He'd ignite the World Tree itself if he could. So apparently the Calamity Bear is not a very nice person. Opponent plays Cycling and has 2 Flourishing Foxes on the field. That's some great play from the opponent. We'll just get rid of one of them. Oh no, this one. I mean, this must be quite, I don't know, it just seems like a dull deck. Cycling. So, I think we're gonna lose this game again. Probably. Opponent goes in for 6. Opponent goes in for 7. Opponent goes in for 8. We're down to 3 life. And there's nothing I can do about this. Absolutely nothing. We just need to play one cycling card and then we're done. And there's nothing I could do about it. It's like these decks that, yeah, okay. They have no interaction with the opponent at all. It's horrible. Okay. So I'll play one game with the white deck and then we'll call it a day. Because again, today is not been great. They say learn from your mistakes, but aside from the one game where I wasn't paying attention to the order of casting, I don't feel I made many mistakes. Maybe the deck was a mistake. So we're up against rogues probably. Slow rogues it seems. Yeah, rogues it is. I have to get our key cards on the field while I can't remove them. They probably have a Thieves Guild Enforcer which gets triggered now. So this is one of those rogues players that is indecisive. I mean, it's not a hard deck to play, mate. You just bore the soul out of your opponent after you've sacrificed your soul to the devil. That's how it works. He's got 3 cards in the graveyard. Yeah. 4, 5. When does this trigger? 8. Okay. So we can still safely attack at the moment. They don't block it. Okay. And the crab. Here comes the fabled passage. Oh, I guess not. They don't have a land. Opponent missed the land drop. Wow. So what have we lost so far? 2 Skyclaves and a Lurus. That's quite big. Do we cast the Luminarch here? Or do we cast the Maw of the Skyclaves? I think we're going through the air. Start getting damage in on our opponent since his flyer is tapped. We'll cast Luminarch next turn, especially since our opponent is mana screwed. Okay. So now we got a big Thieves Guild Enforcer, which is fine. Yeah. No, we don't block. If we had a Lurus, I would have blocked, but we don't. So does our opponent tap out? He does, because he buys the Lurus. So I think we'll make one of these a 2-2. So he can't safely block it with the Merfolk Windrobber. But I do think we attack with all three. So our opponent is forced to make choices. He'll probably, yeah, and then he'll sacrifice it. That one's tapped. Okay. So what do we want here? Ideally another Skyclave Maul of the Skyclaves, or a Heliod. I mean, Lurrus would be amazing as well, because then we could, well, only get a Speaker and a Savior out of the graveyard. I think Heliod is what we want, ideally. What's our chance of getting a Heliod? 10% chance. Opponent does not attack, and we get the Heliod. Oh, as if requested. That's GG, opponent. Opponent does have the mana to counter it though. Does the opponent counter it? Opponent does cast a Drown in the Lock. I will just go in with our flyer. Next turn we go in for 6 with our flyer. Yeah, you can mill me. You mill me again. It's probably a swamp you want, yeah. Okay. None of those cards are like big at the moment. If we'd lose Maul of the Skyclaves, it would be disappointing. So with that happening last turn, what we want now is a Maul of the Skyclaves, and we want our opponent to tap out. Yeah, opponent almost taps out. They'll cast the Windrobber, probably. Opponent's tapped out. So, Maul of the Skyclave. Please. 9% chance. Well, we believe in the heart of the cards. 10% chance. There we go. As if I requested it. And we'll put this on the Luminarch. We'll give the Luminarch a little boost. He'll block Daxos, but he'll take 4. Yeah, opponent wants to have another card. So, what can save the opponent here? Even an extinction event would save him. Other removals opponent, because I can make them indestructible with my doggies. So opponent needs an extinction event. There goes the Dexos and the Heliod. Opponent's looking for the extinction event. I don't think he found it. Or she. I don't think the opponent found it. And we're starting the rope. Really? Yeah, Thieves Guild Enforcer. It's fine, I lose a few cards. And goes another mole. I still have 21 cards and I got lethal. Far more than lethal, actually. I won't fall for that. I will cast this. Just to see if opponent uses a spell. Yes, they're both legendary creatures, mate. I'm aware. Okay. That's annoying. Destroy. Okay, cool. There we go. Now your drown in the lock does not work. And I'll keep this one. Yeah, good game. We beat rogues! Yes! Yes! And our reward for beating the rogues was a Blitz of the Thunderraptor. I think this is my 4th copy of it. Well, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, ups, downs. We started off really strong, and we ended with a nice game, I think. Let me know what you found, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in.